It wasn't that long ago that being tall was considered one of the main traits to be a good basketball player. Of course you needed other skills as well, but being tall pretty much guaranteed you some type of role on a team. Bill Russell at 6'10" was one of the tallest guy on the court night in and night out back in the 1960s. And just 20 years later, Larry Bird at 6'9" was playing small forward. Fast forward it to nowadays and you have a 6'11" Ben Simmons playing point guard. So everyone is tall now, and skilled. Now it's still an asset to be tall, especially if you're the center of your team because most likely you'll be guarding and attacking 7-footers constantly. But just being tall is not good enough anymore. Times are changing, and so is a place in the modern NBA for really tall guys. In the 80s, 7'4" Mark Eaton had a really good career. He's one of the best blockers in NBA history. So did another 7'4" Ralph Sampson. For a while he was a part of a twin tower duo in Houston. The two tallest players ever to play in the NBA, George Muresan and Manute Bol, both listed at 7'7" at some point in their respective careers, were towering over anyone on their or opponent's team. Especially Manute Bol, who played alongside the shortest player in NBA history, Muggsy Bogues, who was 5'3". Muresan played 6 seasons in the NBA and averaged 9.8 points and 6.4 rebounds for his career. He played in the 90s and pretty much had just 3 good seasons out of 6. Injuries derailed his career. And that's the thing with really tall players. They can't just play your normal 30, 35 plus minutes per night and for a long time. Ultimately, he was just another player. He did win the NBA Most Improved Player award and was leading the league in the field goal percentage 2 times, but overall, besides his towering height, he wasn't anything special. Manute Bol, on the other hand, had a much more lengthy career. His career spanned more than 600 games. He wasn't known for anything offensively, but he did lead the league 2 times in blocks, made the NBA All-Defensive Second Team, and still holds the second highest block per game average in NBA history. Sean Bradley, for the second overall pick, had a quite disappointing career. He made the NBA All-Rookie Second Team, led the NBA in blocks once, but overall was flirting with a bust status for his whole career. In the late 90s, early 2000s, 2 Lithuanians, Arvydas Sabonis and Zydrunas Ilgauskas, both had an impact on the NBA and their teams, but none of them really evolved into big superstars. To be fair though, Sabonis was already 31 when he made it to the NBA, and still was good. Ilgauskas is sort of a Cleveland Cavalier legend, so you can count these 2 careers as successes. And now, you have Porzingis at 7'3", who's a bona fide all-star talent. Boban Marjanovic has his role set with his team as well. But for every success story, there are 2 examples that didn't really make it. There's your Hashim Thabit type of player who just wasn't skilled enough from the beginning and never evolved. Tibor Pleiss, who played just 12 games in the league. Sim Bilar, who played just 3 games. And Slavko Vranic, who played just 1 game in the league in 2004 and never returned. So in recent years, we welcomed another super tall player in the NBA, Tacko Fall. Unfortunately, currently it seems like he will be one of those players whose career just didn't pan out. At 7'6" and 311 pounds, he's a monster, or at least he could be a monster center for any team. So far though, in 3 NBA seasons, he's played in only 37 games and in 6.2 minutes averages 2.2 points and 2.4 rebounds. Coming out of college, he had many flaws. He obviously had height, which you can't teach, so someone will take a chance on him just because of his height. But otherwise, he didn't have the necessary stamina, shooting skills, pretty much no offensive game. In the modern NBA, where centers shoot the 3 just as good as most guards, you just have to be quick and able to shoot the 3 yourself. Otherwise, you have limited usability. And to even have that limited usability, you need to have stamina. It seems like Tacko doesn't have it. He's quite slow and uncoordinated, he can't really hit the jumper outside the paint. Most centers in today's NBA are quite agile, which means that even his best asset, which is guarding the paint and blocking shots, is pretty useless since he can't really catch up with other players. The size difference will play a role here and there, but most players like that will have a negative net rating. Also, he started his career with Boston, a team that had or still has quite high expectations. Tacko Fall is a unique player. He needs the time to develop and the Celtics needed to do that. He should have been developing in the G League. Instead, he was sitting on Boston's bench racking up DNPs. He had some chances, but he squandered those, like missing assignments on defense or a gimme layup. So after 2 years of that, the Celtics decided that this project is not for them. So Cleveland took a chance. That lasted all of 11 games, in which he posted averages of 1.1 points and 1.5 rebounds in 5.4 minutes of action. Now, he's in G League, playing for the Cleveland Charge. He's playing a lot of minutes, which is good for his development. He's also rebounding and blocking shots, which are also expected. Offensively though, he's averaging just 8 points. He's shooting 40% from the free throw line and is attempting just 1 free throw per game. So as far as the outlook for the NBA, it doesn't look good. Additionally, take into account that he's already 26 years old. I know it's not much even for an NBA player, but he's a really big guy, a really tall guy, and most tall guys start to have some nagging injuries here and there around 30 or so. So this might just be his prime, and if he can't make it to the league now, there's practically no chance he'll ever do that. And the teams know that as well. As sad as it sounds, he might have like 3-4 years of good basketball health left in him. Would you risk your team's success to take minutes from players who also have potential just to see if this project works out? And even if it does, it's safe to assume that he won't be your starting 35-minute center for a season. So what are you really wasting your time on? On a possible role player at best? Being tall is not good enough anymore. You need to have a bunch of skills to go with that, and I'm afraid that Tacko Fall just doesn't have those. But what do you think, guys? Will Tacko Fall make it back to the NBA? Can he become a rotational player in the league, and if so, for how long? Please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to leave a like for the video, subscribe to the channel, and enable bell notifications to get notified when I upload. Thanks for watching. This was Purple Prince, and I'm out.